Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here and be back with you. So we skipped the first. I got my wrong stream thing on. Let me change that. Give myself a little more reverb for the singing part. But I ended up spending 16 hours in the editing booth from Thursday afternoon till 8 a.m. I walked out of here at 8:15 a.m. on Friday morning to edit that video. And it did what it did. It did what it did, I tell y'all. I'm grateful that we got something out of it, and I appreciate everyone who supported, went over and watched and donated and everything like that. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciated that. So let's get started with the Bliss Break this evening on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. The weather was gorgeous today. I'm glad to bring these songs to you. We're going to celebrate the birthdays of some folks born in March. We'll start with the birthdays. I was surprised about this song because I always try to think about doing multiple decades when I do the show. To songs to represent multiple decades because I sing songs from the 1920s through today, but mostly specializing in or focusing on songs of the 20th century from the 20s to the end of the 20th century. So I was excited with this song because I was looking at the birthdays this month, and Pearl Bailey was one that came up, and she was the first African American to receive a Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. She did so many things and brought so much creativity to the world. She was not only a singer, but a comedian and actress and performed in movies and stage and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to look at what songs that she sung that I also sing. And so I came across this one that I've been singing probably for the last year and a half. It was made famous by Dean Martin, but Pearl Bailey did a fantastic rendition live on the Ed Sullivan Show. So I have a link for that in the box for you guys. But the song was first recorded by Nat King Cole. So I was really excited by that because as anyone who has watched this Bliss Breaks series knows that Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole are huge influences of mine. And how sweet is it that Nat King Cole was also born in March 17th, and Pearl Bailey was born March 29th. March 29th, 1918 for Pearl Bailey, March 17th, and sometimes you see the 19th, so I'm not sure which day. Sometimes back then they didn't record it quite right. But anyway, March 17th, 1919 for Nat King Cole. So both of them have had their 100th anniversaries of their births passed, so I'm going to celebrate them with this great song. That's, like I said, was a hit for Dean Martin, but both of them recorded it. It's called You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world still is the same, you'll never change it. As sure as stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody nobody till somebody cares. You may be a king, you may possess the world and all of its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world, it still is the same, you'll never change it. As sure as those stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody, find yourself somebody, find yourself somebody to love. Yes, be sure to find yourself somebody to love, because they say you're nobody till somebody loves you. So I hope you have somebody to love. I know I do. I love you. So yes, you all have somebody to love, and that's me. That's somebody that loves you. So that's me. So from me to you, I love you. All right. Now let's see. I think I saw something pop up in the chat box. Hey, Carolyn. It's good to see you here. I'm so glad to be back. I'm messing with the sound. I'm sorry. Ooh. I am still learning and still figuring all this stuff out. So, again, thank you so much for being here with me. Moving on to the next song. This song was from the 1950s. See, going from the 40s to the 50s. The original song was recorded on May 20th in 1954 on the Federal label, but it was never released. And then the group moved to the Mercury label and re-recorded the song in April of 1955 with a slightly changed arrangement. And this version became a huge hit for this group. It was the Platters. And I chose this song because Zola Taylor, who was the only female member of the group, was born on March 17th, 1938. So I found out something interesting about this tune. According to the bass singer in the group, Herb, it is Herb, oh my goodness, Herb Reed, he recalled that they had recorded the tune several times. They kept trying, and every time that they tried, they felt like it was terrible, including what they had done on the Federal label before they moved to Mercury. And he said one time they were rehearsing in the car, and the car jerked, and it made the lead singer hold out the first lyric really long. And they said they laughed at first, but then when they sang the song, they thought, okay, we got onto something big, and they thought it was a sign that the song was going to be a hit. And lo and behold, the time that they recorded it, after they had that little blip, was when the song became a hit for them. Some of you may have figured out what this song is. But if you haven't, I'm just going to tell you that it was such a big hit that it was covered by a list of hit makers, including Little Richard, James Brown, Wayne Newton, Paul Anka, Roy Orbison, the Shirelles, Johnny Mathis, Ringo Starr, the Stylistics, Reba McEntire, and Ray Goodman and Brown. So crossing genres and everything. So this is the Platters hit, Only You, and You Alone. Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make all this darkness bright. Only you and you alone can feel me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. all this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand all the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make all this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When I hold your hand, I understand all the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you. Yes, only you. Yes, only you. Oh, hi, Tony. Carolyn is telling me that her friend Tony says hi. It's been a little over a year ago, like just over a year and a month ago. I did a restaurant. No, I'm sorry. Was it longer than? Yes. Oh my goodness. This is 2 years ago. Wow. Time flew by. In 2020, and for Valentine's Day in 2020, I did a restaurant out here in Jersey, and Carolyn and Tony came and enjoyed the night and enjoyed the music. It was so much fun. So hi, Tony. It's nice to have you here tonight too. All right. Continuing on into, we're going to jump into the 70s. Yes, yes, yes. And do a couple of songs that are from movies. This first one I chose because I wanted to celebrate the birthday of the songwriter Carole Bayer Sager. She was born on March 8th, 1947. And she wrote this song with Marvin Hamlisch for the Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. So I've been wanting to. I think Bond themes are fantastic. They're such if you put together a song list of all the Bond themes, oh my gosh, what wonderful music. And one night, me and the band were hired to do a theme night. They were doing a Bond theme night, and we just did so many of the songs from all of the Bond movies. And I was tickled pink. I was so happy because it was something that I wanted to do for a long time. So I keep this list of all of my show ideas. So I create a bunch of showcases for Silver Fox, but I also have all of these ideas for just theme, whether it's an album or whether it's just a showcase. And I think a lot of that is going to happen through Bliss Breaks, because all the songs that I wanted to do, all the ideas, I wanted to do a Burt Bacharach show. I wanted to do a Bond show. There's a list, a whole list. But this one I'm excited because Carole Bayer Sager wrote this song, and it's one of my favorite Bond themes. And according to the rest of the world, it is too. It's ranked in the top 10 of the Bond themes list. And when it came out, it was number one on the Billboard Adult Contemporary charts for 7 weeks. It was nominated for an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song in 1978. It happened to lose to You Lighted My Life, which was another movie tune that was at the top of the charts at the time. And it was also nominated for a Grammy for both Song of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Performance Female. And the American Film Institute, AFI, listed it as the 67th greatest song as part of its series that celebrated 100 years in music. This song is a Carly Simon tune, and that girl can sing her face off. So it's from The Spy Who Loved Me. And as I was doing the research, because I always like to try to see if there was a later cover tune, if the famous tune wasn't a cover, I try to see if there is a cover that was made after that. And I came across a cover by Jennifer Holliday. Okay. Jennifer Holliday is probably the reason that I even live in this area. Not because she brought me to the area, but because Dreamgirls was the show, the tape that I ran until the tape came out, and my mother had to buy me a new one, had to buy me a new Walkman because I just ran it until it exploded. All of that stuff. The show Dreamgirls was huge for me as a child. It showed faces that look like mine, body types that look like mine, and was celebrated and had music that I absolutely loved. And it said to me, you can do this too. So coming across Jennifer Holliday, and then there was a time Jennifer Holliday did another show, and my mother and I went to see it. It came to DC, and we went to see it, and my mother was like, do you want to go and meet her after the show? And I wasn't really like a stage type, hanging out at the backstage and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do a whole lot of that. But my mother was determined. She was like, this is the woman that you always talking about. This is the woman who you listen to 24/7. And she's here now. You need to go and meet her. So I said, okay. We went back there. We're backstage. We're hanging out. She comes out, and my mother stops her and says, my daughter sings, and she sings because of you. That was the only time I can really remember my mother being a stage mother. And she was like, sing. I can laugh about it now, but I was mortified. I was like maybe 11 or 12 years old. And my mother was like, you better sing. And so I started singing it. And of course, Jennifer Holliday was gracious and, said, oh, you got a great voice, this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, that's my Jennifer Holliday thing. Oh, hey, Alice and Karen. That's okay. I started a little late today, too. I couldn't get the camera to show up in OBS, which is the program that kind of feeds everything into YouTube. So I started about 5 minutes late. So you missed 2 songs. You can always go back and catch up. So I'm glad you're here. It doesn't matter if you're late. You showed up. So thank you. But as I was saying, that's my little Jennifer Holliday song story. So if you get a chance to check out the chat box in the video, if you get a chance to check out the description box of this video, you'll see that version of this song, which is Nobody Does It Better. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I was looking, but somehow you found me. I tried to hide from your love light, but like heaven above me, the spy who loved me is keeping all my secrets tonight. And nobody does it better, though sometimes I wish someone could. Nobody does it quite the way you do. Did you have to be so good? The way that you hold me, whenever you hold me, There's some kind of magic inside you that keeps me from running, but just keep it coming. How'd you learn to do the things you do? And nobody does it better. It makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, baby, darling, you're the best. You're the best. Baby, baby, you're the best. Yes, baby, you're the best. So, if you noticed, I don't know if you could tell, but the first first four songs tonight, I've done the backing tracks. And these are songs that have some interesting little licks in them and things that kind of make the song specific. So there's that. I'll add that later. But those are some things I'm gonna have to call on my band members and get them to play those things in the recording. But for now, I just got some basic backing tracks to sing to, and I am enjoying again making the backing tracks stuff. So let's see. That was the one from The Spy Who Loved Me, and I wanted to give a little bit more background on Carole Bayer Sager because I've sung a song by her before. She was the co-writer on That's What Friends Are For. She wrote that with Burt Bacharach, who she was married to for a while. And there's some other songs that she has written, and she kind of pops up all over the place. And she did she wrote songs for herself and recorded albums in the 70s and 80s. And she co-wrote Groovy Kinda Love, which was a hit in the 60s, and later for Phil Collins, it was a hit for him too. And she wrote that in high school. And then she also co-wrote It's the Falling in Love. Now, the first time that I heard It's the Falling in Love, it was on the Off the Wall album for Michael Jackson. He did it as a duet with Patty Austin. But Carole Bayer Sager did it for one of her albums, and she did it as a duet with Michael McDonald. And she also co-wrote The Prayer that was released by Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli. So she's got her hand in. There are quite a few female songwriters that I always am surprised and impressed at. Not only that they're prolific, because women are prolific songwriters too. I'm not trying to say that that's a surprise, because it's not. But what's interesting to me is how they sprinkle across so many different, like their music speaks in so many and is recorded by so many different people. So yes, she's one that has had it recorded by artists all over the charts. So let's go on to number 4. Number 4, song number 4 is another one that's from a movie, and another one that I was excited to come across because Jennifer Warnes, who is someone that has had songs in several movies, was born March 3rd, 1947, same year as Carole Bayer Sager. This song was featured on the soundtrack to An Officer and a Gentleman, and it won the Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song, won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Performance by a Duo, won the Songwriters Award, Academy Award for Best Original Song. It won the BAFTA Film Award for Best Original Song. And in 2020, Billboard's magazine list included it as part of their 25 Greatest Love Duos. So I'm going to sing this song. And it was covered as a gospel tune by BB and CC Winans. See, genre crossing, because it's such a positive and lifting song. So again, this is one that you may have figured out before I even get to it. But if you haven't, it's a song that Jennifer Warren sung with Joe Cocker, and it's got a really interesting story behind it. They almost weren't going to do it. Well, Jennifer Warren was chosen to do the song because she had a couple of hits with songs on soundtracks before this. And when she was chosen to do the song, the producer, I think it was the producer, I got to figure out because it's a long story, but one person didn't think that she could do it because they thought that her voice was just too soft and it was too sweet. And yes, it was a pretty voice, but she presented, let me do it as a duo with Joe Cocker. She was the one who was just like, I want to do it with him. Well, when they approached Joe Cocker, he was like, I'm not doing this as a duet. I'll do it as a solo, because he really wanted it to have an R&B and soulful feel. So he wanted to do it separately. And then when they went into the studio, he almost couldn't. So they were just like, okay, we'll record it separately, and then we'll edit it together. So they had her record it. They set up a recording session for him to come and do it, but he hadn't learned the words well enough, so he was really nervous about going to do it. They had to talk him into going into the studio. Finally, they talked it into going to the studio. They edited it together, and finally, after he heard that, convinced them to go into the studio and record it as a duo. Oh my gosh, it was so much. And then after that, the story goes on and on, because the studio the movie makers didn't want to use it. And then the studio was just like, this isn't going to be a success. And, it was just like all this stuff. But then the song was a huge, huge hit. And the title is Up Where We Belong. Hey. What tomorrow brings, in a world where few hearts survive. All I know is the way I feel when it's real. I keep my prayer alive. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb the steps every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Some hang on to what it used to be, living their lives looking behind. Well, all we have is here and now. All our lives out there to find. The road, it is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb the steps every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Time goes by, no time to cry. it's you and I alive, baby. Love lifts us up where we belong, up where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Ooh, we're going up on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Yes. Love lifts us up where we belong. I got to remember that because those lyrics are simple, but the change that comes right before the chorus, the road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb the steps every day. Sometimes when I am feeling out of it and blue, I say to myself, take a baby step. Just take a baby step. And before I know it, I'm up, I'm doing my thing, I'm excited about the day and moving through the day just fine. Because every time I sing and music moves through me, it's a whole nother. Carolyn says, damn girl, applause. Thank you. The songs today I realized too were kind of mellow, but I'm feeling spring mellow. Just feeling like just uplifting, and I hope that these tunes are blissful for you. Yes, I had to think about the word I wanted to say. I hope they're blissful for you because they're blissful for me. And speaking of bliss, one of the blisses of my life when I was growing up was Al Jarreau. He was played all in my house. I can remember each and every song from his first two albums being played in my house. And for me, all of the different rhythms, the scatting, everything, the stuff that he did, the way that he used the inflection in his voice, all of that stuff really, really excited me. And then there were times when it was just like, what is he saying? I know there's little things going on. And to tell you that I still listen to stuff and hear new stuff in his music, even today, from the stuff that's way back. But there's a bunch of tunes that he did before he passed away in 2017 that were wonderful. Okay, I see there's somebody in the chat that is not a friend. It's just not a friend. So I'm just gonna put that in there, and yeah, we're gonna remove these little things out of here. I always say, like, when crazy people show up and crazy little things show up in the chat, that means that the show is good. Somebody's seeing it from somewhere else. So I'm just like, okay. I saw that Ellis and Karen put in a bunch of butterflies. So thank you so much. Butterflies are my thing, because they remind me that we can be in transition and being from that cocoon and preparing things and researching and planning and all of that kind of stuff, to me, is the cocoon. And then enjoying the process of the transformation as the baby steps, as you take the baby steps and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then comes that beautiful, Beautiful butterfly. Yes, yes, yes. I love butterflies because they constantly remind me of that. And that cycle goes and goes and goes. It's awesome. So I've got one more song for you today. Like I said, Al Jarreau, he was born March 12th, 1940. We lost him in 2017, but he sang up until he walked out of his body. This song has a cute little story behind it too, because it is one of his. When you hear it, it's one of the tunes that people when they think of Al Jarreau, it's one of the first tunes that come out. That and Moonlighting. This song, Moonlighting. The song is We're in This Love Together, but that song, Moonlighting, a couple of other tunes. But this song was on his album Breaking Away, that was released in 1981. And the song, when it was originally written, they had some of his label mates in mind, Neil Larson and Buzz Fighton. They were going to do a duo project together. And the song, for some reason, when they gave the stack of music for considerations for him, it was mistakenly added to the bottom of the stack. So when they were looking through tunes, they came to this one, and him and his producer, and they were like, well, hopefully we'll have a hit with this one. And of course they did. The songwriter also said that even though the song was written, and it was written with Larson and Fighton in mind, it was originally pitched to Johnny Mathis. But when they didn't hear back from him, they were like, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and pass it on to the duo guys. But that's when it got into that pile. But Johnny Mathis would later record it in 2008, and he did it he featured Dave Koz on the sax on that tune. So if you check out the description box, it is in there, and I hope you enjoy my version. And this one I used the backing track that I found online. So I actually have to go back and put that in the description box, because I always want to give credit when I'm using somebody else's track. So this is We're in This Love Together. It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing, and we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song that we love to sing. Every time we hear the music, we're in this love together. We got the kind that lasts forever. Yeah. We're in this love together. And like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter every time. Yeah. It's like a rainy night and candlelight, and ooh, it's so romantic. We got the whole thing working out so right, and it's just the way we planned it. Don't you know we're in this love together? We got the kind that lasts forever. Don't you know that we're in this love together? And like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter all the time. Don't you know that we're Let me tell you that we're in this love together. We're gonna find that love that'll open up the door. Hey, oh, yeah. Don't you know that we're in this love together? We got the kind that brings to mind a favorite song. Yeah. Let me tell you that we're in this love together. We got the kind that blazes all night long, yeah. We're in this love together. And like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter all the time. So yes, 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 we are in this love together. Thank you so much, everybody. I see Karen and Ella said they love this song. I love that song too. It's one of those songs that's like you hear it, and again, I love songs that make me feel like I want to skip. I know it's silly, but it just lifts my spirit so much that it just makes me happy. And the fact that it could be 4 minutes of music that can completely shift and change my day, change my outlook, all of that stuff. And again, this one has simple lyrics. It just repeats that we are in this love together. And there's stuff that comes between it, but that thing just keeps going over and over. And sometimes it's just hearing that same thing that really sinks in and says, oh my gosh, life is good. Life is good. Life is blissful. So, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's good to be back. Hopefully, I won't have to take another break, but I'm so grateful that you understand when I have to take care of myself. Because if I don't take care of myself, I can't be here for you. And I want to be here for you for a long time. So have a good one, everyone. I will see you in April. And I forget what day it is. Oh, my goodness. What is the first Wednesday in April? Anybody know? Anybody know? Bueller? Anybody? Anybody? I'm going to look it up. So the first Wednesday in April is April 6th. So I will see you then. I'll be in the chat box for a few more moments. But thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to support, buymeacoffee.com/rdmusic. Again, it's in the description box. If you want to support and buy me a coffee, that would be great. I love doing this and bringing this to you. And I'm going to be doing more with all of the songs that have come before. It's creating an anthology and all of that kind of stuff. So I am excited. Keep being blissful. And I will see you the first Wednesday in April, April 6th. Have a good one, everybody.
To block my way, I found a peace, a joy, a better, a bliss that brightens every day. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else I could say. I'm at a loss for words. Just wanted to share my bliss in every way. Whenever you're down, believe that you're only a thought away from your own bliss. I've been there before, I tell you. My humble advice, you should remember this. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else love you.